Honestly feel like y'all trying to gaslight us. I really feel like at this point that the people in charge are really trying to rage bait the fuck out of black people.
Hi lovelies, you're welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Belinda Stranad. Thank you so much for all the love and support. To my returning subscribers, to those people that share my videos, leave commentaries, and also educate each and every one of us, you guys are the real MVP. It actually looks like Charlie Craig face is going to be on US currency very soon. Not only that, that is actually a Charlie Craig day, which match with George Floyd's day. Lovelace. I'm just going to roll the clip as well as some of other stitches I was able to put together. Please leave me your own thought in the comment section of what you think of this video. And please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We're just here for educational and informative purposes. I'm going to stitch the videos and we are going to come back to talk about it.
Honestly feel like y'all trying to gaslight us. I really feel like at this point that the people in charge are really trying to rage bait the fuck out of black people. Like the attacks on our school, comparing Charlie Kirk to Martin Luther King, and now want to give him a Remembrance Day on George Floyd's birthday. Like, y'all are trying it. I know y'all are, and I know y'all waiting for us to jump. Because it can't be anything else. It really can't. It can't be anything else but saying, how far can we push these to the point where they get outside and we can finally do what we've always wanted to do to them. I know that's some of y'all thoughts in y'all head. Meaning this is an app and you have to keep your real thoughts to yourself, because if you don't, oh shit, that gets on my fucking nerves. I cannot deal with this dumb shit, bruh. I honestly feel
y'all, ain't no way they're going to put him on a silver dollar coin. He wasn't even an elected official. He was just a guy with a platform. He was just a guy with a platform. A guy with a platform, bro. But no Harriet Tubman? Oh, okay. Alright. Okay. Alright. Look at this, y'all.
This is going to seem like pick on Oklahoma Day, and I promise it's not, but they're in the news again for something else. Republican lawmakers in the state legislature in Oklahoma are proposing a bill that would require all public colleges and universities to create a Charlie Kirk Memorial Plaza on each of those campuses. Yeah, it would include a statue of him. It must be placed in a prominent place on campus, can't be hidden in a corner. It would include a statue of him either sitting in a chair with an empty chair across from him, or a statue of him and his wife holding their children. I'm not making this up. Designs for the statue must be passed on and approved by the state legislature, and if the school doesn't comply, they could be fined on a monthly basis. The school also has to take measures to prevent vandalism, because obviously not everybody on campus is going to be a Charlie Kirk fan. That's just understood. You know, it seems like governments on the federal level and the state level are trying to create a martyr. We've heard about this movement. You know, people on the right, MAGA folks, saying that they poked the bear, that there's this great awakening, that there's this revolution, both political and religious, this awakening that's going on with the right because of the death of Charlie Kirk. It created a martyr. You know, most revolutions have a tendency to be fueled from the bottom up, not necessarily from the top down, but it seems like in this case, Oklahoma was trying to do just that. You know, if they were going to make a martyr of anyone, I can think of some people that I think are more appropriate. How about, you know, creating a memorial plaza and statues for all these children that keep getting killed in mass shootings at these schools? How about doing that? Because that's going to continue to happen. And maybe the revolution should be trying to get guns off the streets so our children are not dying in their schools. There can't be anything worse than a child who's fearful for his life just to go to school 5 days a week, or parents sending their child to school knowing that there's a possibility that their child might not come home that day. That's no way to live. And while Charlie Kirk's death is truly tragic, I gotta believe that even more tragic is the continued gun violence that grips us and threatens the safety of our children each and every day. So if you want to build a memorial plaza and build statues of martyrs, how about building that? How about starting a revolution that gets guns off the streets? But we know that's not going to happen, right? Because there are too many people out there in the United States that believe their right to own a gun is more valuable to them than the life of your child. And that's unfortunate. But here we go again, Oklahoma. I mean, we saw them with PragerU. Now they're going to test teachers from New York, California to see if they're suited to teach in the state of Oklahoma, even though they have a teacher shortage and they're ranked 47th in education out of 50 states in the United States. We saw it today. I talked about the sign they put in a city in Oklahoma, basically making threats against Democrats and brown and black folks because they feel as though they had something to do with Charlie Kirk's death. And now we see that Republican lawmakers in the state want to create a memorial for Charlie Kirk. Oklahoma in the news. I'm not making it up. I'm not putting them there. This is Oklahoma just being Oklahoma.
You know, a lot of people talk about we've never seen political violence like what happened to Charlie Kirk, and I beg to differ. I genuinely do. The killer of Charlie Kirk killed exactly one man that day. One. Not 5, not 50. One. And now everybody is jostling, trying to give this motherfucker to the other side or which side or whatever, like he's a goddamn hot potato. But you know, you have seen political violence. You just didn't call it that. Think about this for just a second. The Sackler family is a billionaire family, a multi-billionaire family, one of the richest families in America. It was the Sacklers that brought OxyContin to America. Purdue Pharma, I believe. That drug, which was passed through the FDA like nothing happened, because the Sacklers are able to pay off people within the FDA. Let's not act like these motherfuckers ain't getting bread on the side. Put out a drug that addicted people. Pain pills. Addicted people. So much so that people were actually out there breaking their arms and their legs just to get more pills. People died from an overdose of opioids. They did. They died. The usage of fentanyl, you know, that drug that nobody wants to talk about, and now it's just this scary beast from Venezuela. And the Sacklers had dealings with Afghanistan and the poppy fields, but we're not going to go all the way there. So what happens when they are finally caught with their hand not only in the cookie jar, but basically holding the cookie jar so they can stick their dick in it? Well, the Sacklers filed for Chapter 7 or 11 bankruptcy for the company that was creating the goddamn OxyContin so that they could pay off this massive bill. And then just to make sure the Sacklers get a chance to fuck you twice, the Sacklers were the company that came up with Narcan. You can look these things up. It was the fact that the Sacklers were able to influence people in the Food and Drug Administration. That is political violence. It's killed millions. How about the companies like Chick-Fil-A and Hobby Lobby who argued in front of the Supreme Court that they should be able to have religious exemptions? Hobby Lobby is a place to sell you tchotchkes. And Chick-fil-A is a place that serves you the blandest, boringest fucking chicken ever known to humankind. But they have religious faiths. That's political violence. The slow encroachment of Christian nationalism within our federal government, and it's not even slow anymore. The bitch done picked up speed. And they have a useful idiot in the White House right now that will allow them to do so. It's political violence against anybody who does not believe in that dogmatic bullshit. Women not being able to control what happens to their own body is political violence. It's political violence. No matter how you try to slice it, it matters for not. It is political violence. All of it. Anytime an organization meddles in the affairs of duly elected politicians within our government, it is political violence. Citizens United is political violence. You mean to tell me I, a hardworking, taxpaying American citizen, have to go through every hoop possible to be able to talk to my representatives and my senators, the governor of my state, and the president of the United States. But you can be the Heritage Foundation made up of a bunch of rich people that don't like Negroes or people that speak Spanish. They have politicians' numbers on speed dial. Why do we celebrate the Heritage Foundation and APAC? Why do we celebrate them? Why? What are we celebrating? The fact that they have more influence over our federal government than we do? A word? That's what's popping in the hood now? Okay. Why does CPAC exist? The Conservative Political Action Conference. Why do lobbyists have their own street in Washington, D.C.? And what exactly are they giving these politicians whose number they have on speed dial? What are they giving them? Campaign donations. What are they getting? How many laws and precedents have been put in place that affect millions of people at the behest of a very small few? Is that not political violence? Subverting the will of the people simply because you feel a way or your organization feels a way? The fact that Project 2025 sat out there like a sword of Damocles and the only people that noticed it are the ones that actually read the goddamn thing. And people still said, Jill Stein. It was right there. Project 2025 was the sword of Damocles. It literally was burning right above your fucking head. And because you didn't want to notice it, because you have your own little thing to worry about, that sword of Damocles has now cut our government, stabbed it. It is no longer ran by the people. It is ran by people who want to make changes to your goddamn life. Is that not political violence, kids? A hostile takeover of our federal government, subverting the will of the people, putting in Christian dogmatic nationalist fervor where I, a militant atheist, have to pay taxes to this shit. The burning of all the food from USAID, the shutting off of medications through USAID, all because Elon Musk was being investigated. So he goes through and Doge and cuts. And our news media reports it like nothing is fucking happening because they too are part of the political violence. They are owned by Sinclair and Nexstar and Skydance and News Corp and Comcast. All of these companies think about their bottom line before they think about the truth. So news is now whatever the oligarchs think it should be. Oh, and they're coming for social media too. Look at TikTok. Look who they hired to oversee things about hate speech. Look at the deal they're making with the federal government. Look at the deal they're making with Oracle and BlackRock and whoever else. Look at that. Is that not political violence? Do you have a say in this? You're affected. You're a victim. You don't know it. And you probably are thinking I'm wrong about all of this. Charlie Kirk got gunned down in front of people. Yes. So did King. So did Malcolm X. So did RFK. So did Medgar Evers. But Charlie Kirk ain't on their level. None of the people I just named, he ain't nowhere near their level. He's a podcaster. And for people to sit up and say, we've never seen this level of political violence when a podcaster gets shot in the throat, obviously haven't looked at history, nor have they looked at the current times. Political violence happens to us every single solitary day. Every day that our elected politicians, our employees, do something that is against the will of the people, every time they do something that they know for a fact is going to affect millions of goddamn people, that is political violence, kids. On a grander scale, it just didn't take bullets. It took bucks, took dollars, drachmas, pounds, sterling silver, whatever you want to call it. It just took a little bit of money. And you've been affected by it and desensitized by it. It's only when somebody gets shot that you start to notice. Someone stop me when I'm telling a lie.
I think white people think that other people want to be them. I think they think other people want to be white. They actually think that people are looking at them, ordering Charlie Kirks at Starbucks in a show of solidarity, and thinking, God, I wish that was fucking me. They think people want to be like them. Bro, nobody wants to be like white people.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
In every lifetime, if I ever got reincarnated, I would choose to be black. This video is so funny because it is true. Like, white people think that they are the norm, the status quo, and that they are the blueprint for things, and everything outside of the scope of being white is not normal. I can speak boldly for the majority of black people on earth, and I will say 99.999% of black people. In every lifetime, if I ever got reincarnated, I would choose to be black. With everything that we experience in the world, with everything, all the history we have, all the racism, microaggressions, macroaggressions existing in this world, having to prove yourself, being better than everybody just to get an equal level playing field, I would always choose to be black. I couldn't imagine not having 20 cousins, having fake cousins, being communal, going to church, having growing up in my grandmother's house, having dinner at my grandma's house, having a drunk uncle that has hoop dreams at 50 who used to be a rapper. I couldn't imagine not having all the things that bring me together as a black person with other black people. Seasoned food, rhythm, music, clothes, swag, style. Impact. I just could not imagine not being this person. So if you're watching this and you're white and you really think that you are the blueprint because the world has told you so, that's a lie, bro. It's a lie. I would never want to be white. Even, don't get me wrong. There are some people out there that have issues internally, self-hatred, and that's due to our history in this land and the world. But the majority of us would always choose to be melanated in the next lifetime. Have a wonderful day.
Republicans are currently trying to pass a bill that would put Charlie Kirk's face on valid U.S. currency. The whole idea is that they would mint 400,000 silver dollar coins in 2026, honoring the late activist who was killed at the age of 31. According to the bill, the coins would feature his likeness, name, and the inscription, "Well done, my good and faithful servant." This bill would also make a national day of remembrance for Charlie Kirk on his birthday, October 14th. What do you guys think about this? Let me know down in the comments.
He's reacting to the fact that, there is actually going to be Charlie Kirk's money in his remembrance, right? And also, there is also going to be a Charlie Kirk celebration day, and which actually tallied with that of George Floyd. This got people reacting, and I actually stitched out of the video. The thing is that I am actually not against anything that they want to do, but I think that there is actually more of some pressing issues that need to be fixed. This man actually was unalive by the use of Kpe.Ple, which this Kpe.Ple has always been a problem. It has always been a case. We have had so many school pupils. Like, only this year have registered too many school pupils. I actually thought that these people will keep, they will bring up or sign a bill that will control the level of pupils in school. I thought that actually looking towards that way. I thought maybe because an important person like Charlie Kirk or CK, which was unalive by the use of Kpe.Ple, and because of that, it will give way for or to control Kpe.Ple. Because even on the day that he was, there are other school Kpe.Ple that happened. A school Kpe.Ple happened the same day that CK was unalive. So why are they not trying to bring or pass a bill that will actually, since it has affected someone very important. So why not pass a bill that will control this level of Kpe.Ple? Just 2 days ago, another pink-colored person decided to go to ICE facility with the use of Kpe.Ple. Why are these parents leaving Kpe.Ple where their teenage people could just lay hands on it and go do the devil's work? Because the person who unalive CK actually used the Kpe.Ple of his own father, right? The father who, if I'm wrong, please correct me. The father who happens to be who owns a Kpe.Ple was the one that turned him in. So why not look for ways to control this level of Kpe.Ple here and there instead of going around to? I think that should be something that Because according to what happened with the ICE facility and the pan-colored person who unalive immigrants and finally unalive himself, instead of why not just maybe look for something that will control the level of pupil that is happening, because that of CK would not even stop pupil. I actually thought that when this thing happened to CK, it will give rooms for other people not to happen again, or it will give room for them to be so serious about on how to control these pupils. But then again, after CK's incident, another pupil happened. Other people, you don't even know. Like somebody could just want to argue with you, and someone is already bringing pupil. The world is seeing what is happening. The world is not blind. The world is always talking about, oh, this, what is happening? What are they doing? And it's getting worse each and every passing day. It's getting worse that you cannot even argue with someone. You can't have any words of, maybe you can't even exchange any kind of conversation with someone. And this person will just come out and bring people, and like you don't even have any form of opinion. Or maybe somebody can beat traffic, and you as a civilian and as an individual, like, oh, you beat traffic. This person could just come out from his car and just like that. This is a very, very pressing issue that needs to be talked about. And when I stitch this, the video about some group of immigrant that was unalive by a pan-colored person who later unalive himself, people are like, why is it not making headlines? Is it because these people are immigrant? Is it because these people's life is not so special? Like, just to show you what people that looks like they have been trying to say. There is some people who are being taken so seriously. Oh my God. And there are some people who actually the world think that they deserve to be unalive. Like there are some people who deserve to live and people who deserve to die, which is not supposed to be so. Every life should matter. Be you red, yellow, blue, white, and black, brown, or whatsoever. The way at which you treat life A should be the same way you treat life B. Nobody deserves anything that is happening. I have said this countless times in the stage. Nobody deserves to honor life CK because of his opinion. No. But there are other people on the same table who their own case is not being treated so seriously. That is what people are asking. Everybody's life should be very interesting, should matter. You know? I also heard that there are some group of people who were hung on a tree, but no media, nobody want to talk about it. You know? Anyway, lovelies, when I saw this, I thought that I was just going to put it up here for us to know what is going on. Why not just leave me your own thought in the comment section of what you think of this video. And please do not forget that we do not support any form of bullying and harassment. We're just here for educational and informative purposes. So please share this video. Subscribe to this channel if you're yet to do that. Like, and I will see you, love you, and I upload the next one.